With President Muhammadu Buhari in the United States attending the UN General Assembly meeting, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo presided over the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. The meeting was attended by few ministers, as some traveled with the president, while others were reported to have traveled to Osun State for the rerun governorship election. Briefing journalists after the meeting, which lasted for about 2 hours, Water Resources Minister gave good news.
I was happy to report to Council that as at Saturday, the water level in Lokoja had dropped by 6 centimeters and it's still going down. The water level in Lagdo Dam in Cameroon is also going down. So hopefully the worst is over, except if there is some unforeseen and unprecedented amount of rainfall, which is very unlikely, but not also unlikely to happen, but we don't hope it will. We think that the worst is over and we should be able to see most of the flood waters receding from now on.
Minister of Petroleum Resources, Mr. Ibe Kachiku, says a $46 million contract was approved to provide power to protesting communities located around the Escravos area in Delta State.
Previously we had intervention to do the Escravos to Lagos pipeline system, which was then stopped because communities came back and said, why will you be moving all the 50% of the gas required to do power when the immediate communities didn't have a power supply? And it stalled the project for a very long time. And today we approached the council to approve $64,235,644 to fund 2 lots, one for the supply of the power itself, which is building the plant, all the engineering services that are required to do that.
Presidential media aide Malam Garba Shehu says 3 key contracts were approved for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
The first to EFCC is the approval for the contract for the provision of facilities maintenance service for their newly, that 10-story building. So they got a contract about 500 million given to Julius Berger for upkeep and maintenance of the place.
The Federal Executive Council also approved a contract variation for the Chamdown in Gombe State with an additional sum of 612 million naira, which brought the total contract sum to 1.44 billion naira. The federal government's position that the worst of the 2018 flooding is over is undoubtedly good news. But for environmentalists, it is time for government to commence evacuation of those living in floodplain and water corridor. From the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, I'm Mikaro Atta, ITV News, Abuja.